Yo, what's up everybody? How is it going? Today I want to present you guys another game. Today we're doing Pine. Now, Pine was shown to me by chat. I was kind of asking like what's the next game we should do here, and then this popped up because it just got released on Steam. And yeah, so this is a very recent game. It is out. It is fully released. It's about 20 bucks. And this game actually had a Kickstarter. Now, I want to talk about that first. Now, this game had a Kickstarter on which they asked for 100,000 euros. They raised 120,000, so a very good amount of money, right? That's a fantastic amount of money. To kind of read out some of the descriptions from the Kickstarter. Right, it's just kind of what I want to do here. So, inspired by the adventures of Link in the Zelda series, the intriguing Nemesis system of Shadow of Mordor, Fable's choice-dependent progression, and the dance-like combat of Bloodborne, Pine brings you an ever-evolving world that provides each player with a fascinating and truly unique journey. Cool, sounds fantastic, right? Then, in Pine, humans never reach the top of the food chain, set on a living and breathing island of Albamere, an intricate ecology reacts, evolves, and adapts to you specifically. It is up to you to find a new home for a near extinct leftover tribe. So cool. That sounds fantastic. All right, and then finally, in the world of Pine, every action, even inaction, has an effect. The way in which you explore the island of Albamere, come into contact and interact with its many inhabitants, defines how the world will change, evolve, and adapt. Great, that sounds fantastic, right? There's just, there's quite a bit of promise here. Like they also made there's a short list of things that they promised, like a 3D action adventure game about adaptation, explore the islands of Albamere in an open world fashion, befriend or hinder species that can evolve and devolve, take on the role of you and find a new home for your species, enemies learn from your moves using advanced AI. Awesome, cool. Right, sounds good. Also, the release was planned for Q4 2018, so we're a little bit late on that. So, let's get into it then. First, let's have a quick look at the settings here. Right, graphics, pretty much nothing. Audio, well, I guess it exists. You actually, kind of can change your settings here, right? Like, it's fine. It's all pretty standard. Nothing too much... graphics are kind of sketch, but oh well. So, I've played this game for about 5 hours at this point, and I felt like that was enough to get you a good impression. We're gonna just go ahead and load into where I'm at. Don't worry too much about spoilers, and we'll just kind of see how things go from here. And I'll explain to you in a second what we have done up to this point, and then what the game is telling us to do right now. So here we are in the world of Pine. This is Hugh. He always has the kind of same dead eyes, to be completely honest. We can kind of run around the map and pick up stuff, right? Like we have our inventory here where we have a whole bunch of different things. Here's our crafting. So you can do all sorts of different crafting. The way crafting works is really you just gather specific things and then you can create stuff, right? So if I have Marrowwood and Dolruk, I can create arrows. And if I have these things for the drink, I can create the drink, and so on. It's really not a very complicated system. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of run around the world a little bit, and then that way I think I'll hopefully get to show you just kind of what this game is about, what it plays like, and all of that stuff. So we're on this map right here. It's actually fairly large, right? It's not super massive. You can run from the one end to the other end in a pretty reasonable time frame. It's not at all too crazy, but something that is a very important aspect of Pine is that you have these kind of tribes. So down there is a tribe of chickens. They don't like me. They will attack me as soon as I approach them. Which, is kind of a little bit awkward. That may have a little bit to do with the fact that I have killed a lot of them. In fact, I have tried to kill every single one of those chickens I have come across so far. Because frankly speaking, I don't like them very much. And other than that, there's different villages for each of the different tribes. So we can kind of just run through here and then, occasionally pick stuff up. But the first thing you may notice is that this world is empty. Yeah, there is not a lot going on, right? As I mentioned, the map is pretty big. Running from one point to the other does take a while. Hey, thank you, Mimbles, for giving Requia. So, but running from one end to the other does take quite a while. But it does really feel exactly like what it feels like right now most of the time. We're just kind of like running through, but there's really nothing here. Now the game, I'm going to go ahead and just pull from this again, right? The game itself says that it's inspired by Zelda. It's got a system like Shadow of Mordor. It has combat like Bloodborne. All right, so I'm going to be pulling those comparisons because the game itself pulls those comparisons. All right, cool. So in Breath of the Wild, when you run through the world, you can really just kind of like go from point A to point B. And a lot of the quests in Breath of the Wild are actually just go from point A to point B, right? But because the world is so filled with stuff, anywhere you go, anything you do feels like an adventure, right? You go from point A to point B and it just feels like a massive adventure. Even though you aren't actually doing anything relevant to the quest, which was just going from point A to point B. But because the world is filled with so much stuff, there's just so much to do that it feels great. In here, you will occasionally encounter a boy like this. Now, this is one of the enemy types in this game. Now, let me show you the Bloodborne-like combat, right? So we can kind of lock in like this. We can't move the camera well like this. We have our shield and we have our weapon, right? And our enemy is just kind of jumping us. We can attack with our weapon, which kind of looks like that. And then we kind of like trade hit. Now, the first thing, and you already noticed it right there, enemies actually have no real knockback. Right, you cannot really interrupt their attacks. Once they start the wind-up on their hits, and they can start the wind-up on the hits even while you are attacking them, there's really nothing you can do about it. You're just gonna get hit. I mean, unless you like kind of like aren't in range. You have your shield, which you can hide behind, and if you like do it exactly right, you can do sort of a parry. But yeah, the combat doesn't really feel great. It especially feels really, really bad because the combat doesn't seem to have any sort of like input buffer or frame cancel system at all. Instead, everything is just kind of like contained within like 3 or 4 different combos. So we can kind of like do this. We can do this right here, which has like cool freeze frame. Right, these 3 hits, or we can do this. And that's really kind of the extent of it. Like, we can kind of do like a stabbing thing, which also has like, I guess, all right, there we go. That's our 4 combos. And outside of that, there's really no way to chain these together effectively. Because, and I'm gonna pay attention, I'm spam clicking my attack. Right, do you see how long it takes to go from that last swipe into the next one? And during that, like, I can even try to move, right? Let me go and try to move. Like, you're just stuck in it for a really long time, right? Like, just again to like kind of showcase this, how long you're in these animations. If I want to cancel it, it's not really much faster. Like, you're stuck for a very, very long time in every single animation, making it really difficult for players to like react to things. Not only that, but when you fight something, they have basically, if you're familiar with the Dark Souls terminology, they have 100% poise. And because they have 100% poise, as soon as they start something, the best, most effective thing for you to do is just remove yourself from the situation. Especially since, and yeah, the only neutral enemy, the only monster-like enemy in the entire game is that lizard dude we found earlier, right? So since that is the only monster, and that monster has like a lightning attack that will hit you even when you have your shield up, as you saw, there's actually no point to playing some sort of parry-like system, like trying to like block things. Not only that, but again, I'm putting up my shield. Now look how long it takes to come out of the shield animation. Right? There's just no way. Like, I'm spamming the attack, but it just takes so long to come out of the shield. If I'm attacking and I want to go into shield, it takes forever. Well, actually, never mind. The shield goes a little bit quicker. Sorry. But up there, like, let's have a look. So this right here is another one of them lizards. Right? Again, I do want to stress that there's a few different the enemy types, or like, I guess, neutral creature types, and there's only one of them that will actually attack you, which are these. None of the other ones even can attack you. They just don't do anything. Right? At least not the ones that I found so far. So let's go ahead and fight this dude. Now, I'm gonna kind of like go ahead and pull some aggro on him, right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to fight him with the system as it is kind of intended, right? But you can see it's just so difficult. These hitboxes are really awkward, right? And do you guys want me to show you how you win every single fight in this game? I'm gonna show you how to win every single fight in this game, okay? Here's what you do. You run in, bait an attack, run away. You run back in, do this. Let me go ahead and see if I can maybe find another enemy. But if you just do that, you run in, bait an attack, run away, do that, like this combo of moves. By the way, there's another lizard. Again, this is literally the only enemy. There's nothing else, right? But, so, let's go ahead and fight this lizard. Alright, I run in, bait an attack. Do that. Cool, it hit. Alright, fantastic. You run in, bait an attack. If you do this, the enemies will never ever hit you. It's just actually impossible for them to hit you. And I do want to point out that the game, again, advertises itself saying, hey, we have AI that will kind of like, by the way, this is one of the things we kind of have to collect that are around the world. One of the few things that are actually like proper collectible. But, you know, we have like AI that will learn from you. They don't. That's just not true. They will not learn from you. They don't understand jack shit. Right? And that what I just showed you not only applies to those kind of like neutral enemies like the lizard, which I guess is the only one, right? But also to the kind of like NPC creatures. Now let's get to that, right? One of the things that kind of seems like a selling point for Pine. Oh, by the way, there's another lizard. Let me just show you the combat again. Like, we're gonna do a little bit more combat against NPCs, but again, right? Okay, I kind of screwed up right there because that's the most dangerous attack that guy got. Alright, so we come in, bait a hit. Now that he's done his attack, he's gonna be in kind of like a freeze. And we kind of just keep running around him. Right, like, you see? It's just, yeah, that's just how it goes. Alright. So, these right here are donation boxes. Let's go ahead before we talk to that. Now, before we talk about that, let's go into a village. So, this right here is one of the villages in the world. These villages are inhabited by different species. In this case, there were some sort of weird crocodile creatures, right? And these crocodile creatures, they just kind of exist here and they have their village and you can sort of interact with them. So that's another thing. So right here you have, for example, the chief, right? This is the chief of this croc village. I can't talk to this guy. I actually can't do anything with him. And also, I'm getting pushed away weirdly. But I just straight up can't talk to him. Like, I just can't do anything. I can't go to any of them. Like, here we go. Alright. So there's maybe one guy that I can talk to. Great. But they usually have nothing to say. Right? But like, these guys, even though they exist and this village exists, you might think this kind of brings life into it. But they don't do anything and they don't talk to you. You just can't do anything with them. Also, can I show you the thing that I hate? My least favorite thing about this game. Alright? This is my least favorite thing about this entire game. So this is a store. Right? This is a trader. You can trade with him. I'm standing in front of the store trying to talk to the trader. I cannot talk to the trader. I cannot trade with the trader. I have to walk around like this and then talk to the trader. Because they made it so that this store is too big. Right? It's too thick for the trader's kind of trade range to go all the way over here. I just can't. You can't. You need to walk around this. You cannot talk here. It just doesn't work. That to me is just... Oh, God. It's absolutely unbelievable. So, let's go ahead and have a quick look at what we got to do, right? So these right here are donation boxes. Donation boxes allow you to become friendly or hostile with different kind of species. Now, for example, these right here, like kind of the crocs, you know, they have these jaws, right? I'm currently allied with them. And if I want to give them stuff, right? Like if I give them stuff, then they will become more allied with me. Right? Makes sense? So right here you can see what they like. You know, Crassbone, Bleaketai, Alpafant, Leather, and Alpafant meat. So I have some of that, right? Like if I give that to them, they will become friendly. Right? Like for example, this right here will make them more friendly. Now you may notice that over there, they become actually less friendly. Yeah, you're supposed to kind of like forge alliances, but the alliances you forge kind of undo forging alliances with other things. So the first alliance I actually forged, where I was completely 100% mega friendly with these guys up here, was actually undone because the story of the game required me to forge an alliance with these crocs. And to do that, I needed to give them my stuff, right? But I already had given a lot of stuff to these kind of like deer people. But now the deer people don't like me anymore because now I'm in an alliance with the crocs, which really made me feel like it just wasted all of my resources. So right now I have to become neutral or friendly with the litters, right? Litters are a specific species of creatures that I have to admit I don't really like them very much. They kind of have these really annoying sound effects, this like weird scream that they do all the time that I personally just found very, very irritating. So I've killed a lot of them. Basically every single one that I have encountered, I have killed. You see down there, there's a bunch of them. If I get near them, they will try to attack me. Oh, also you get to hear the beautiful screaming voices of them. So yeah, they will kind of like spit on you like this, which is just kind of gross and rude. Anyway, it's time for beautiful combat right here. Now with these guys, combat is actually kind of difficult because they, you know, they are ranged. And as I mentioned before, you cannot in any way like interrupt their attacks. Oh, there we go. We got hit by that. So with fighting against two of them, our strategy of just spamming this move, it still mostly works, but it doesn't work as well. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and drink a potion that gets me bonus attack damage, so I can hopefully kill these guys. Oh, yeah. You can also hear the absolutely wonderful sound effects. And yeah, we're just kind of like eating a lot during combat because also I cannot believe that attack didn't hit. This is very common, very normal. The hitboxes in this, you know, what do they call it? The like kind of like how Dark Souls and Bloodborne, they all have kind of like hitbox porn, you know, where it feels like everything just goes exactly where it needs, like where it should go, and it all makes perfect sense. This game has none of that. The hitboxes are absolutely atrocious. Combine that with the fact that your combat system is really mostly dependent on two moves. I don't really know how a situation like this I have any opportunity at all to kind of like win if I don't just spam this one move, because I know that this one move will actually work. And because, you know, again, keep in mind, if I were to just attack them normally. Oh, okay, I got one of them. So now I can, yeah. If I were to just attack them normally, they would just super armor through all of my attacks, making it impossible for me to really like get out of it without taking too much damage. Alright, go ahead and get ourselves this. So yeah, now we're just kind of like keeping this guy in a perma-stun. Again, against a single enemy, they really can't do anything against us. It's a little bit silly, to be honest. But anyway, we have now killed 2 more people of their tribe, which I'm sure they're not very happy about. So like, again, they don't like me because I've killed a lot of them. But trust me, it won't matter. What I need to find now is I need to find a donation box of these guys. Because, right, as I talked about earlier, in this game, you kind of like make friends with people by giving them stuff, right? And, oh, there it is. Fantastic. We found a donation box of the Litos. So, great. Again, we are mega hostile with them. They do not like me. But that's okay, because we have a lot of stuff. And we can just kind of throw all of it at them. Oh, have we reached the maximum that they will do right now? So there's a maximum that they kind of let you do all at once. I'm going to confirm this trade. By the way, this has undone my other alliances. Right, by the way, I have to do this alliance right now because the story demands it. Right, the story is actually like, nah, you got to be friendly with them right now. Which just doesn't feel good because the story also told me I have to be friendly with these other guys. Alright, and now it's telling me to kind of like undo all of that. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of like give them all of our shit. Because why not? And yeah, okay, cool. We have all of that. Maybe we can go in here and like do some crafting. Like, why don't we create some rope? Do they like the rope more? Yeah, the rope makes a bigger impact. Alright, so let's go ahead and do some more crafting. And yes, you have to do it all one by one. And we're going to just go ahead and do that. There we go. We got a bunch of ropes. Because they aren't really responding to my wood. And now I am friendly with the littons. Or litters. Alright? Look at that. And now they get themselves some buildings and all of that stuff. And hey, they like me now. Isn't that great? Oh, fantastic. By the way, I have literally come into this camp before and killed this dude. I have done that. I have just walked into the camp and killed their chief before. They sure forgot about that quickly. So anyway, now we have our quest here that we can continue, right? And now we have to find and talk to a litter chief or King Drool's legacy. So this is a litter chief, I assume, but it's not letting me talk to him. The game oftentimes gives these kind of instructions where it's just like, do this thing. And then what it really means is talk to this one specific character and nobody else. Alright, so in this case, it's highlighting something on the map where, no, not this one. I think it wants me to talk to this specific king down there, right? It wants me to go to that specific location or litter chief, right? Because apparently this one right here is not good enough for something, alright? So, yeah. Now, I believe that if you keep playing this game, eventually the game will kind of like let you do a little bit more with the villages. Right? But I've been playing this for 5 hours and it's just been fetch quests. And and I'm just like, okay, like how many fetch quests are you gonna make me do until you let me do anything interesting? Because it's not like you can just go to the villagers and just play with the villagers, you know, you can't just give them stuff and then they're gonna be happy and like build things, at least not from what I could tell, because I have given these guys a shit ton of stuff and they still haven't done anything with it, alright? I've like been gathering for hours and just giving them all of my crap. And it's just nothing that's come from it. Also, again, I do really want to point out that I was friendly with these guys and now I'm neutral again. Which is just like, come on, dude. Like, I felt like it just undoes all of the work that you had me do. Right? For a previous point in the story, you not only had me become friendly with those crocodiles, but then also had me give them all like a shit ton of resources. Like an actual crazy amount of resources. Also, let's talk about enemy variety really quick, or I guess creature variety. These guys right here, they are supposed to be kind of like seaside things. They're the only seaside thing. And I think they just kind of like ran out of them. So they just kind of put them in the middle of the mountain. I have seen these guys literally all the way up the mountain. Because this is just so empty. There's just nothing here, right? Like, let's just kind of like keep running. Okay, we found 3 of those guys. Alright, let's go ahead and run to that location that the game wants us to go. Let's just go over there. Alright, just kind of like go through here. And just kind of pay attention to how many things we encounter, right? Okay, there's these guys again. We've seen that before. I mean, like, yeah, I guess we should kill them because, you know, they have food. Which we do need. But, yeah, I suppose. One quick note about how movement works in this game. There's no momentum to jumping. Jumping simply has its own movement speed and you can manipulate it mid-jump. So if you're jumping, you can actually go backwards. If you're running and then jump, you know, you have your momentum, but you can instantly cancel it. It just feels really awkward, right? Like you can jump, go backwards. You can even like run forwards, jump and then cancel and go back. Another thing about like how movement works in this game, game has kind of like jumping puzzles. It actually has quite a few puzzles, all of which are terrible. But it has jumping puzzles which require very precise movement. But the weird thing is that, pay attention to this, alright? Like, I'm moving forward, I go back. Forward, back. I'm not using the left or right button at all. The way turning works in this game is that it displaces your character a little bit. It pushes the character a little bit to the right. And because of that, jumping puzzles are a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. Because as you move along the platforms, you obviously sometimes have to adjust your positions. And as you adjust your positions, you fucking fall down! It's unbelievable. Alright, we got ourselves, hello. Yes, I am the human. I have killed hundreds of your species. And I come to bring you King Drool's plan. How dare you speak of our Almighty this way? Yeah, it's just some weird quest thingy. Droolika. Alright, what's in it for you? Well, I want to know everything there is about the blunder. Alright, it's just some weird, like, thing. Like, I don't worry too much about it. Okay, influence the Litter Village with the preservation knowledge. So now I need to run all the way down there. Alright. And preservation knowledge is something I got earlier. Right, this efficiency plan, no? No? Let me see how this works out. Honestly, I think it's something I got earlier. Maybe I lost it, maybe I accidentally gave it away. Alright, hello. By the way, I think with these guys you can actually use the shops properly, so at least that. Hey, Viglas, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Alright, so here's our village. Oh, do I have to give it to you? Alright, do you want my plan here? Splitter axe idea. Sure, I'll take that. Oh, you're not gonna, like, just give that to me? Alright, so when trading, you kind of, you know, have this scale. Here you go. You can have all of that crap. So, we have our equipment. Glossary crafting, that's what I'm looking for. So now we're looking for preservation knowledge. Luckily, I already have the stuff for it, so we can just do that. Maybe I give that to you now. Oh, wait. Am I blind? Wasn't sure if I had one of those. Alright, so I can't just kind of like ask for some stuff in return here. Oh, they doesn't like that. Alright, sure, whatever. Have your thingy, it doesn't really bother me. So now I got a new island concept. You've introduced preservation knowledge on Albomer. This insight and variation will start circulating the island through the village trader groups. Well, just with this influence in the inventory, we'll start stockpiling resources and ammo along their villagers, you know. So now I need to collect Droolika from the near boxes near the villagers' houses that appear through the newfound preservation knowledge. So now a fetch quest. It's only fetch quests. That's all this game is. You run through the world, you do the fetch quests, the world is empty, there's nothing to do. Combat is terrible, there's nothing in here that is in any way like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, or the Nemesis system. Sorry, not Breath of the Wild, but Bloodborne or the Nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor, right? Like, I think just mentioning those things in the same sentence as this game is already an insult. This game is bad. Do not buy it. Don't waste your money like I did. I thought it looked kind of neat. It is not neat. It is terrible. And honestly, I'm kind of upset. Like, you might be like, hey, Bommy, why are you being so mean to this? Because this game had a Kickstarter. They asked people for money. Not only did they ask people for money, but then they also released the game and are now asking for more money for it. This is a paid product. It should be treated as a paid product. And frankly, nobody should be paying for this. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a rating on the video. We'd definitely appreciate that. And let me know what game you want me to do next. I'll see you guys tomorrow.